tips on being productive. First thing, get off of YouTube after watching this video, obviously. Hey mom and random people on the internet watching this right now, it's Zizi and I'm being productive because I'm filming this video, yeah! Anyway, I'm going through a rough time at the moment. I'm struggling with depression since like early this year, and I've never struggled with depression for so long, and I've also never struggled so hard. So obviously it's really hard for me to stay productive and to go and do things. Most of the time I actually just lay in bed and I really enjoy that. Or I go on YouTube or I go on the internet in general and watch stuff and don't create stuff. So I'm actually really proud that I'm doing this today. And I know it's hard for a lot of other people. So I wanted to share how I kind of stay productive when I'm depressed, when I'm feeling down, but also just like how to stay productive in general. You don't have to be depressed to take something away from this video. I actually hope you are not depressed. Let me know if you are depressed or you aren't depressed in the comments down below. Anyway, let's get into my tips on how to stay productive or how to get productive. Also, there is no particular order on how helpful the tips I'm going to mention now actually are. I think you have to try different ones and find out which ones work best for you. Okay, so the first tip I have for you actually is one that you're probably gonna like when you hear it, and you're probably gonna be like, what? Sissy? That doesn't make sense. Not that any of my videos ever did, to be honest. But yeah, the first tip I have for you when being productive is take breaks. Yeah, I know. Doesn't make sense, right? But yeah, I think you should probably have a set timetable on when you want to get things done, and then you should also plan a few breaks in between. For example, if you study for exam, make sure you go on and do like 1 hour of reading through your books and writing down notes, and then you take a 10-minute break. And in this 10-minute break, you just don't think about what you are studying. You don't think about anything. Yep. That's what I'm best at. You just sit there, have a quick little moment to yourself, breathe, have a drink, whatever you need to do. And that way you will feel refreshed and relaxed when going back into your studies, and you will find it very easy to go on studying. While when you go on and on and on for hours and hours, you get less and less productive and your brain will just not work anymore at one point. So if you take little set breaks in between, you don't only kind of reward yourself for like pulling through for an hour or however long your last period of work actually was, but then you also get kind of relaxed and are able to actually push through the next period of time. And also, if you take breaks, in these breaks you can check your phone if you really need to, and you won't check your phone all the way through studying at any time. No, you will put your phone aside and only pick it up in the breaks. Also, on that note, there are many different apps that you can get in the App Store that really help with kind of putting your phone aside when studying, when doing work, when reading, I don't know, whatever you need to do. Most of the time you can set, for example, an hour that you don't want to go on social media, and the phone will keep you from not going on social media, and this will obviously help you stay concentrated during your work. A thing that kind of comes with the whole topic of time management, taking breaks and stuff, is actually setting yourself little goals. So for example, don't set yourself the goal to read the whole chapter in a book, but set yourself the goal to read like the first 3 pages during the first half an hour. Then after a little break and after taking some notes, you will go on with the next 3 pages, and you should definitely plan all of these little steps out. That way you will once again kind of trick your mind into thinking that you are productive AF, because it will be like, oh my gosh, I can check already one thing off of my list. On that point, actually make lists. Lists are such an essential for being productive and being organized, and kind of just feel rewarded when you kind of done all of the things on your list. So lists are my absolute pro tip. Personally, I do lists on everything. I do shopping lists, I do working lists, I do kind of organizing lists, I do lists on which books I want to read, I do lists on which videos I want to film, I do lists on which mails I have to answer, I do lists on literally everything. Just wrote a quick little list about all the lists I just mentioned. And once again, in these lists you can then also write down the times that you want to do things and stay organized even more. Obviously, a list is a thing you would normally do before getting into work, so I'm now going to talk about a few little things you can do when actually working on something, on a project or on school or on whatever. So one thing that is really important to me personally is that I work in a kind of organized area. So my desk, for example, is always completely empty. So I have a lot of space for my work and I can put different papers that I need to see all at one time, for example. And I can also put my laptop, and yeah, I kind of just feel organized and therefore also work in a more organized way. Also, if I feel like I need more space, or I feel like my room, which is obviously very colorful and stuff, is distracting me from work, I like to sit in the living room, because there we have a big table which is normally like for food and for having dinner and stuff. But when there's nobody in the living room, I can just have the whole table for myself, and the walls are white, there's just a couch in there, the whole room is empty basically, and that way I can really think creatively and I can really concentrate on my work rather than my surrounding at that time. You know, I actually just thought about another idea that might be helpful for some of you when it comes to workspace and desk space and stuff. If you have something special that keeps you motivated when working, for example a goal you want to reach, or maybe even a person you want to make proud, put a picture of it on your desk. For example, I have right here a picture of my lovely mother, and right behind the camera I have a lovely picture of my two best friends, because those are the people I want to make proud, and those are the people who keep me motivated and inspire me. Okay, so these are all of my common tips and tricks that I use to be productive and stay productive, but I also have a last one which might not work for everyone, but maybe it will work for you. It works for me perfectly, and that last tip is productive music. Now, I personally like to listen to music. For example, I loved listening to music when doing homework because I felt like specific music really helped me concentrate on my work. For example, there are a lot of different playlists on Spotify that maybe you should go through, and maybe you will find different styles of music that will help you concentrate. I know that there are studies about, for example, like peaceful piano kind of music, but I personally like more upbeat study music. It really keeps me going and it really pushes me to kind of concentrate. Obviously, I always listen to music without lyrics, because that way I don't concentrate on the music too much, but I concentrate on the work, and the music just kind of keeps me in the flow. So yeah, that would actually be a tip from my side. Maybe you should try it out. I know that a lot of people need absolute dead silence to concentrate, but I like to have a little noise in the background, and so that works perfectly fine as well. Anyway, those are all my little tips and tricks to stay productive and kind of get productive, and I hope one of them or maybe two of them helped you, and if they did, definitely let me know in the comments down below. Also, I actually still struggle with being productive, so if you have any other tips that I maybe should try, or maybe other people should try, definitely also leave them in the comments down below. Also, while you're down there, you could give this video a like if you want, and you could also subscribe to my channel. I try to help you guys with a lot of stuff with my how-to videos, and I also try to entertain you guys, which probably isn't that easy because I'm not that funny. But I try, you know, and maybe you will find me funny. I know some people do.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
And yeah, that's awesome actually, and I'm really thankful for that. So yeah, let me know if you find me funny. It would mean a lot. So I'll stop rambling at this point and I'll just say thank you for wasting your time with me today. Okay, bye! What I mean by saying that I'm kind of poor is, for example, that I won't be able to go to college or uni. Both of my parents kind of lived a very simple life. Over those last few years, I definitely learned how to kind of save some money and put it aside in a very convenient and in an everyday way, and that's exactly what I want to share with you.